What is going on, guys? Welcome back to yet another edition of Pantherology. Welcome to today's video. We are going to be ranking every opponent of the Carolina Panthers by difficulty, 1 through 14, ranking them basically 1 being the most difficult and obviously 14 being the least. All right. Pound the like button, pound the subscribe button, comment down below, let me know what you think. Click that post notifications bell so you don't miss out on any of the raw content. And let's go ahead and get into this bad boy. Alright, so we're rating each game on the Carolina schedule from easiest to obviously most challenging. You know, a couple last week, or yeah, I think it was last week, the Carolina Panthers schedule was released. So today we look at the difficulty of the schedule and rank each opponent based on how challenging that team will be for the Panthers. Now, this is not ranking the degree of difficulty for each game, which is why only 14 are listed. Tampa, New Orleans, and Atlanta are only listed once instead of twice. So, without further ado, let's start with number 14, the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm not sold on Jalen Hurts being the guy, but I think he has a chance. With that being said, I definitely am not sold on new head coach Nick Sirianni. I have a feeling, though, he will be just a part of holding his team back, and if there's a can't-lose game on the Panthers schedules, this is it. So, next, the 13th team I ranked is the New York Jets. Now, the Jets are not in any position to win now, but unlike the Eagles, they do think they have the right man for the job in Robert Saleh. Now, New York has some intriguing young pieces on the offensive side of the ball that they hope can help Zach Wilson succeed. With it being the first game of the year, this should be an easy win for Carolina. Number 12, the Houston Texans. The only reason why I have the Texans rated as the easiest opponent, one of the easiest opponents, is because we have no idea how Deshaun Watson's situation plays out. And if he does end up playing, this team is obviously significantly better. I don't think we will see him on the field, and if we do, it won't be in a Texans uniform, which doesn't bode well for Houston. Number 11, the New York Giants. This is obviously a crucial year for Daniel Jones in New York. He has to take it to the next level, or they may be looking in another direction. Number 10, Patriots. As we all know, Cam Newton has more weapons around him now, which should make the Patriots offense more balanced. They made a ton of moves in free agency that would suggest the roster is much improved, but that team still on the outside looking in for the playoffs in a tough division. Number 9, the Minnesota Vikings. Now, last year's game between the Panthers and the Vikings was low scoring until the fourth quarter. When Minnesota made their comeback, I think this could be one of the highest scoring games in 2021 if Carolina's defense can contain Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen, which they should be able to come out on the right side of this game, though. So number 8, Atlanta Falcons. Now, Atlanta always seems like one of the hardest teams to try to figure out. They have the talent to make the playoffs, but then always tend to fade off in the distance halfway through the season. So how much will new head coach Arthur Smith change their playoff destiny? That remains obviously to be seen. Number 7, the Dallas Cowboys. Before Dak Prescott suffered a season-ending injury last year, he and the Cowboys offense was on fire. So you could have thrown him in the MVP conversation early in the season as well. Their defense can't be worse than it was last year, so things can only go up from here as long as Dak stays healthy, and that's it. Number 6, the Washington football team. Now, Ron Rivera is a hell of a football coach, as we all know. And he knows how to get the most out of his guys. So this year, Washington has more talent on the offensive side after signing our former wide receiver, Curtis Samuel, in free agency, along with offensive tackle Charles Leno Jr. Ryan Fitzpatrick will take over at the quarterback position, which should give them some stability. Not to mention that Washington has arguably the best defensive front seven in the entire NFL. Now, number 5, Miami Dolphins. Now, Tua should take the next step in his development, but with the roster that he has, he doesn't need to be a superstar. He just needs to take care of the football and doesn't need to do too much. Miami's defense could give the Panthers some trouble in this game, meaning Carolina's defense will have to bring their best to keep them in this game. Number 4, the New Orleans Saints. Now, I know Drew Brees is retired, but that doesn't mean that they will all of a sudden forget how to win. There is still a bunch of talent on both sides of the ball, and let's not forget that the Saints were 8-1 in the 9 games that Brees missed over the past 2 seasons. Number 3, the Arizona Cardinals. Having the Cardinals this high might be a surprise to you, but I expect Kyler Murray to hit full stride this year and really carry that team. If he can remain healthy and be consistent, they could be a dark horse to reach the Super Bowl. Number 2, Buffalo Bills. Now, Sean McDermott has things really going for him in Buffalo. And this year could be the year where they really push Kansas City to reach the Super Bowl. And if there's any team that's going to beat the Chiefs to reach the big game, the Bills are the team to do it. And number 1, this is obvious. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Number 1 was pretty easy for me. I mean, Tampa is the defending Super Bowl champs and returns all 22 starters from that team. They have a year of playing together under their belts and should only get better in 2021. It'll be tough for Carolina to win either of the two versus the Bucs. So that is ranking every opponent for the Carolina Panthers by difficulty, obviously 1 through 14. So Panther Nation, Pantherologists, keep pounding.